Hello, my name is Samantha Maxey, and today I'm going to be discussing our proposal on adjustments to the crosswalks on University Drive on Boise State University campus. My partners are Jasmine Cox and Kendall Titanberg. So to begin with, there are approximately 2,700 students that live on campus, and that does not include the students who drive onto campus. Our current issue is that we have ineffective pedestrian crosswalks. If you have been on University Drive, you will notice that there are yield signs instead of stop signs. This is an unsafe situation that is created for both drivers and pedestrians. So if you ever tried to cross this crosswalk, then you would have noticed that cars can decide whether or not they want to stop. Of course, they are supposed to stop, but sometimes that isn't always the case. How the issue developed, it seems that Boise State has grown a lot in the past several years, meaning that these conditions were not changed in order to extend that growth. And because of this increased population, there are more drivers on this street, and most of them are teenagers who have just gotten out of high school, and they're just trying to get to class during their first semester. The methods that we used for this proposal is we have secondary sources and a survey. To the right, you will see some of the questions that we have used during the survey, such as do cars often yield to you when you're in the crossing as they should, and do you use the crossings at least once a day? We use quite a bit of secondary sources. An example would be Ada County Highway District and Center for Disease Control. There are many more, but these two were used the most often. Here are some of the results that we got from the survey, such as for these specific questions, we found that these implied that the students of Boise State noticed a problem with the crosswalks. And they also noticed that if we added the stop signs, such as within our proposal, then it would improve the safety of the public. We have noticed that there is a significant problem on campus. In fact, students have felt unsafe simply walking to class. This is an example of one of the surveys. They had said that they were crossing with her nieces, and they almost got hit by a car. And several other students have noticed that they have to stare at the car while they're crossing to make sure that the car won't stop. Majority of the students would like to see a change in the way that these crosswalks have been implemented. We would like to have a stop sign placed at several of the crosswalks on University Drive in order to improve the pedestrian safety. Current crosswalks are ineffective. Again, if you have seen those crosswalks, they have a yield sign rather than a stop sign. The Boise City Police has acknowledged this problem. They have noticed several accidents have occurred at other crosswalks, maybe not necessarily Boise State, but it can happen. 20,696 cars pass through University Drive daily, and that does not include the amount of students that are even crossing those crosswalks. So if it's during a busy day and you just want to get to class, but there's people in the crosswalk, you're still going to have to sit there. With a stop sign, it helps you keep that agitation down so that the students who are in the crosswalk can feel more secure and not be worried about you trying to run them down. For our conclusion, we have discovered that evidence collected from this research proved that students do want this change. They want to be able to feel secure because Boise State is all about being a home. The solution is that we want to install stop signs, not stoplights, at each pedestrian crossing. Now, because there's a lot of pedestrian crossings on this road, several that are not used as often may have to be removed. Of course, that is a bit of a walk for those of you that do go to class down there. But we do not want a backup problem with the cars down that road. Some of the benefits of the solution is that pedestrian safety is increased. We really believe that if they feel secure enough, they will walk across that street without having to think, okay, what's the best way to do this without having to run into any cars? If you want to find out more information, please feel free to read our recommendation for the proposal that is found on the discussion board. Thank you for listening.